Hey there. If you practice law in Los Angeles, here's what we did and what you should know. I'm Marc Apple, and I'm the founder of Forward Push Law for Marketing. And we spent a considerable amount of time asking ChatGPT, Perplexity, Google's Gemini, and Claude who the best lawyer is in LA across every single practice area. And then we read all 2,314 real answers that came back from AI. When the AI tools backed up an answer with a source, and this is important for you to know, in 14 other cities that we did and we studied, super lawyers was the loudest voice in the room every single time. Los Angeles is the one exception. And if you've been building your visibility around the national pattern instead of your own city, that's worth stopping to think about. In LA, Justia led the sourcing at around 16%, with super lawyers close behind at 14.8%. It's a really small gap on paper, but the real difference is in where your time is best spent if you're trying to get noticed by AI. The categories split really hard between locked and wide open, meaning that some practice areas, there's a really great chance to be named, and in others, it's going to be quite difficult. In business law, there were 3 firms that took more than half of every answer between them. It's a locked category. It's the same case in both civil litigation and the criminal offense. We saw 3 firms lead the way. But then in employment law, well, it's almost completely wide open. 87 different firms were named, and 1 firm barely edged out the rest. The top 3 firms in a typical practice area pulled roughly about 36% of all mentions. And on the tighter end, that's kind of what we found across the study. So here's the practical problem with the Justia reversal that we see in LA. Most advice about AI visibility, including a lot of what gets written for a national audience, tells you to prioritize super lawyers first because that's what wins almost everywhere else. If you follow that advice in LA specifically, and you're optimizing for the second most important source instead of the first, that's a small mistake that compounds because every month you're going to spend polishing the wrong profile when a competitor is probably spending their time polishing the right one. So if you're a law firm based in Los Angeles and you're not showing up, my recommendation is go ahead and check your Justia profile before anything else. Go ahead and fill out every field, every practice area, every location you serve, because in this city specifically, Los Angeles, that's the listing carrying the most weight. Then go ahead and move on to super lawyers and then the other directories, but do Justia first. Make sure that you match your name, your address, and your practice areas across both. And if you're in one of the locked practice areas that we spoke about, business law, major litigation, high-profile criminal defense, know that you're going in with some competition and it's going to be a real fight. On the other hand, employment law and plenty of the other practice areas, it's wide open, really, for whoever does the work first. Somebody in Los Angeles right now is looking for a lawyer, and the answer that they get is going to lean on one of these sources that most firms in Los Angeles aren't prioritizing correctly. That's either the easiest fix on this whole list or the one most likely to get skipped, depending on whether you actually go and check your Justia profile after watching this video.